We got to get into it. It's going to be long. It's going to be great. NFL breakdown. We'll just start with the big one because the Bears and the Lions did play. The Bears did have a lead.
And it did happen.
They gave it up. Stafford had 3 touchdowns. AP had a touchdown late. He finished with 2 on the day. Interesting stat that I found out today from the Bears. Do you want to know how many total points the Bears have scored in all of their third quarters this year?
7.
They've only scored one
I watched
time.
the graphic of the game, and I was like, yeah, it seems about right.
Like, I saw that today, and I was like, that's usually not that good. But, Dave, you're the Bear fan. I'm going to let you have the floor. I'm going to let you vent. Lions beat the Bears. What are your thoughts? What's going on in that dome of yours?
Watching this game with my parents, and that restricted my swearing quite a bit.
Because you got the youngsters running around, or the kids weren't there?
No, they weren't there. Okay. But still, I toned it down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was funny because my mom, like, started the fourth quarter. We scored literally, like, right at the start of the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom was like, see, they were just saving up the third quarter points for the fourth. And I was like, yeah, it's all good. We're leading. And she's like, well, I mean, they would have to blow like a 10-point lead in order to lose this game in the last couple of minutes. And I'm like, yeah, they would, but like, watch, it'll happen. They'll find a way to lose.
It'll happen.
That's the Bears too. They'll find a way to lose. And the fumble was a surprise. Didn't see that coming. But hey, we just suck. Our play calling sucks. Matt Nagy is an idiot. He deserves to be fired. Ryan Pace deserves to be fired. Our offensive line is straight booty. Allen Robinson, I don't know, like, beyond, like, he's already liked every post for, like, you should come play for my team, like, for every other team in the NFL. So, like, I don't know what else he can do to send a stronger message that, like, he really doesn't want to be there. But, like, yeah, it's just everything's bad and it hurts. And you know what's worse is, like, Khalil Mack, production-wise, has just been trash this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. They're down some defensive line pressure, and our big offseason signing on the line for our sack machine hasn't gotten a sack in like 400 and something snaps. What was his name? Like Quinn, Robert Quinn.
Yeah. Coming over from the was he from the Cowboys or the Rams? One or two.
I think it was like 406 snaps or something. He's like one of the longest. For someone who is a pass rushing specialist, he sure as shit can't get to the quarterback. So no, like we don't blitz. Like our defense it was a joke when Matt Stafford drove 96 yards, 97 yards down the field in like 5 plays for a score because we just moved to zone and we get destroyed in zone. Who made the call to go to zone? Why did this make sense to anyone? Because the whole game we played them tight. We did press coverage, we did man, and things were working. Yes, we got beat a couple times over the middle. Safety not in the right spot, a little miscommunication shit. But like once we went to zone, like our linebackers were dropping in coverage and just getting beat left and right, and it was just like fucking what? Like I blinked 3 times and they were in the end zone, and I just started laughing. I don't have any reasonable reaction left anymore. It's just pathetic. That's what the Bears are. We had the win. We 100% had a win in our hands, and we shit the bed. And that just shows we have bad coaching. That's 100% on the coaches. The Trubisky fumble sucks, but it's still bad coaching. I don't care. Like, we should have never been in the situation where we were a fumble away from losing the game. So, no, it's on Nagy. Pace needs to be fired with him. Both of them need to be run out of town, like, straight up out of Frankenstein. Like, get the pitchforks, get the torches, light them up. Let's get these bitches out of town. Let's restart this franchise over. If you need to trade Mac, trade Mac. If you need to move on from different pieces, don't care. No one's safe. Don't give a shit about anybody. Have no loyalty at all at this point. I want this team burned down to the ground and rebuilt because that's just decades of frustration, Decades of frustration.
And I mean, for me, the thing that I kind of think of on the outside is, number one, got to give credit to the Lions. Also, got to give kudos to Darrell Bevins or Bevels for his coach. Like, stepping in. He was one where it was like, I said it coming into the picks, was when he was with Seattle, it was like, oh, watch him to be a head coach. Watch him to be a head coach. comes in, gets the win. Now, come from behind win, players are on the field, but hey, he's the one calling the play. Like, he's the one setting up the game day and everything. So congratulations to him to get the win. But like with the Bears, the one thing I will say that I'm not sure if I'm 100% on, and I've seen it in the Discord a couple times, Dave, is the whole, fire Matt Nagy, bring in Pat Fitzgerald. I don't like that. And the reason why I don't like it is I don't have confidence in Pat Fitzgerald being a good NFL coach. If the Bears are going to go to the college ranks, some Bear fans will like this, some Bear fans won't. There's only one name I'm going at, and that's Jim Harbaugh. Only because I know he can run a team. I know he can do the job of the head coach right. Like, I'm not saying Bears are going to the Super Bowl with Harbaugh, but like, he could do the job. He could set a team up for success. Now you got to draft the team, and I think he can. Like, he's failed
everywhere he's gone.
Yes, he had that fucking 49ers team was good when he was there. They only imploded because York wanted they only imploded because of the ego between York and Harbaugh, where York wanted credit for putting the team together. Harbaugh was like, well, no, I'm calling the plays and stuff. And then they just that's when York fired him and said, no, you're gone. Like, I'm the one that put the team together. So like for me, that's the college coach that I go to. Is that the main coach I'm going at? I don't know. Yet again, I don't know what the coaching pool looks like, because right now it's what? You're either going to college or you're getting what? Dan Quinn, Matt Patricia, any of the assistants out there, unless you're going to do that. Like, that's right now what our pool looks at. Let me wait and see what kind of happens, who gets fired where, what's going on. Oh, Greg Williams. You can hire Greg Williams too, because he got fired this week, Dave. He got fired today from the Jets. Which I will get to that when we get to that game. Next one we're going to talk about, though, is Saints-Falcons. Our patron and fellow friend, Jake Neverman, he let you and me have it in the Discord, where apparently that's what we get, Dave, for picking the Falcons against the Saints. I mean, be honest. So what? I picked the Falcons. Like, the Saints, Taysom Hill's been good. Yeah, he had 2 touchdown passes, but like, I think this to me is more of the Saints stayed consistent, where they weren't amazing, but they weren't bad. It's more so on the Falcons, to where it's like, how hot and cold can this team be to where you're blowing out the fucking Raiders, and then it's like 21-9 for most of the game, or 21-6 for most of the game, and then the end 21-16.
Yeah, no, they're a hot and cold team. Clearly, I didn't realize how far it could swing though. Like, I was like, oh, they're on a heater still. Like, I'm gonna ride this heater with the Falcons. They got, I know the Saints have a great defense, but still, like, that Falcons offense fucking clicks. Nah, shouldn't have done it. Should have just played the smart move. Just pick the better team, Dave. Yeah, pick the better team.
And the only reason I went with the Falcons was after you picked them, because I wanted to. I was leaning Falcons, but like, I should have done the same thing. I should have been like, fuck it. Let's go with the Saints. But like, this team down 21-9, they get the touchdown late. Obviously they had a chance, and I think turned over the ball in the 4th to give the game officially to the Saints. But like, the thing that I will ask with the Saints is, and this is something I'm wondering, is can this team make a playoff push without Drew Brees? Let's say Drew Brees can't come back this year. Is this going to be a Saints team that we doubt in the playoffs and they prove us wrong and Taysom Hill brings them to the Super Bowl?
Entirely fucking possible. That's how good that defense is. And Alvin Kamara. But like, that defense, just they're rock stars out there at times. They shut Tom Brady up and made him look like a old retired man, and he needed to quit the game. Obviously they held their own against Matty Ice. Like, any given week they can hold up, and that's the problem. Like, Taysom Hill, honestly, he's doing the right things to win the game. I mean, that's I don't love him, but I also don't hate him. So I guess that's good.
I mean, next week they should have a winnable game. They got the Eagles on the road.
We talked about that one.
Yeah. Then it's Chiefs and Vikings, which will be harder games. I'm not going to say they're for sure, especially the Viking game. I'm not going to say it's a for sure loss. And then the Panther game, which should be a win, but Teddy Two Gloves has played well this year.
If he comes back.
If he comes back, too. Like, the Saints have locked up a playoff berth. It's just now, can they lock up the first overall seed and get that bye? Next game is Cleveland, Tennessee. And this was one, Dave.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Tennessee a bad team?
No, they're not.
What?
They're not a bad
team. The rule?
Team.
Ricky, the rule? Recite the rule for me.
They're not a bad team. They started off slow.
Baker Mayfield only beats bad teams. Therefore, by the rule of Baker, the Tennessee Titans are a bad team.
By the rule of Baker, but like the big thing in this is I'm not going to say the Titans are a bad team. I think the Browns showed the blueprint on how you beat the Titans. You limit you limit King Henry.
4 touchdowns in the first half.
I mean, like,
you do something that only Baker Mayfield has done before.
So
twice now this year, he scored 4 touchdowns in one half of football. Baker Mayfield is borderline elite this season. He has led the Browns to a winning record this season for the first time in God knows how long.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
But they almost gave the game away, and like that's the thing where it's like this game was a tale of two halves, where we saw the amazingness of what the Browns could be, scoring 38 of their 41 points in the first half, but then got completely trashed in the like they got outscored 28-3 in the second half. So like they almost gave the game to the Titans. Like here you go, and like that's why to me it's like yes, I have a hate boner for the Browns. I do. It's a raging hate boner.
Yeah, you do.
I can't believe they're in the playoffs right now, and I don't want them in. Titans are not a bad team. I mean,
when team in the AFC.
When Derrick Henry only rushes for 60 yards, that's a problem. If the Titans want to win, Derrick Henry needs to, I don't want to say play better, but he needs to have better production. Like, that's it. He's got to have better production.
He's a guy who usually the more carries he gets, the better he gets, and they limit him to 15 carries because they put them in such a hole to start the game.
Yep. I mean, you're not wrong. It's just, I think this is one where if I'm the Titans, you fucking forget it and move on. This is one of like, you just forget it and move on.
The rule of Baker,
like,
the Titans are a bad team.
They're not a bad team.
I'm in on
everyone gets lucky.
Oh, Baker Mayfield only beats bad teams. Therefore, Titans, I'm sorry. You are a bad team.
Dave, the next game, Bengals Dolphins. You know what my takeaway from this game was? I can't remember which league it was, whether it was the MVP league or our personal league. Yeah. But in one of them, I think it was our personal league, I was like, man, I need a tight end. I'm like, do I pick up Gesicki?
I got Gesicki in a league.
I know, you have him in ours. But like, I was like, do I pick up Gesicki? Do I? And I was like, no, he doesn't get enough target. Like, unless he gets a touchdown. And that was like, fuck. He got a touchdown. He got 88 yards. He got 9 catches. It's like, shit, I should have fucking picked up Gesicki. Like, that was my biggest takeaway from this game, was not even that the Dolphins only won 19-7, that the Bengals tried to come back at the end, but luckily lost to keep the tank on. But like, this was one to where it was like, for me, it was like, shit, I should have picked Gesicki up in fantasy. That's all I could think
watched
about.
Like a minute and a half of this game. And I don't feel bad about that at all. I'm happy to admit it. This was a bad game, and I don't think anyone expected it to be a better game. Tua didn't look terrible, which is good news. That's about all my takeaways are.
Myles Gaskin didn't look bad either. He returning from, I think he was returning from injury in this game. He looked well, 90 yards in the game. It's just one of those things where the Dolphins are in the playoffs right now. If the season would end today, I believe.
Yeah. Well.
And it's just one of like Miami. If you
was a fight in this game, that's good point, JD.
The big brawl. I forgot about that. Kerfuffle. Kafefe. Forgot about that. The big fucking brawl that happened. Yet again, this could be one where it's like, just forget it and move on. But like, there could be another one of like, if you can't blow out the bad Bengals, what do I expect for you to do in the playoffs? But like, Bengal fans, you get exactly what you want. You lose. You get to tank for that high pick. Talking about tanking for high picks, Dave, Jacksonville and their fans were almost celebrating, not because they almost won the game, but because they were probably watching the Jets going, hey,
Tight one.
if the Jets win because of strength of schedule, the Jaguars become the first pick. And I had a tweet lined up, Dave, before I went to my secondary tweet. Trevor Lawrence was almost a Jacksonville Jaguar for a second.
Is he still locked for the number 1 overall pick?
For right now, yeah.
Because he has not looked good this season. I can just say that out loud and not feel bad, right?
Until we get to like combine and stuff, like right now he is the lock for number 1, but until we get to the combine and shit.
From what we've seen this year, I would take Fields over him. I know there's a strength of body of work.
Yeah.
Obviously in the years past, the Trevor Lawrence is the guy to take here, but I'm just saying like this year he has not looked great.
I mean, yet again, like
not the time for it, but I'm just throwing out my feelings that yes.
I don't know, it kind of is because like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to get one of these guys.
Yeah.
They're going to get one of them, and it's
I feel like the gap is closed. I don't think there is a Trevor Lawrence here and then Fields here. I think it's like
I don't know. I don't think the gap is that tight. Only because
tanking does you matter of tanking. I know
does exist in football.
There, but like football. Well, somebody didn't tell Greg Williams that because he made damn sure those Jets were losing that game.
You know, we will get to that. I'm biting my tongue. I'm going to get to it when we get to the game. But yeah, like Jacksonville played well. This is the game you want to see from Jacksonville if you're a Jacksonville fan. You do everything to win, but in the end you lose. You secure that number 2 pick to where it's like, hey, this team has some talent
in the game.
Exactly, but like, because if you won, then it's like you're hurting yourself by getting a higher draft pick. But like, if I'm the Vikings, there was a part of me that went, oh shit, like, what's going on here? Like, why are we not blowing out the Jacksonville Jaguars? And at the same time, I'm like, well, Jacksonville record is a bad team, but like they do have guys on this team that can get it done. I didn't expect Mike Glennon to look good. Yeah, he had 2 interceptions, but like he didn't look terrible in the game out there. To where I'm like, man, we're really gonna let the ginger giraffe. And then every time Robinson touched the ball, it was like, I'm mad because I'm a Vikings fan, but I love it because I'm a fantasy owner of Robinson. Also, like you and I were talking about Justin Jefferson, like. Yeah. New number 1 on this team, Adam Thielen, move over. No. JJ's in town.
Completely wrong. Adam Thielen's to number 1, which allows Justin Jefferson to get help. Or to not get the help over the top from the safeties.
Such a good deep ball threat.
Thielen pulls aggro. In terms that us gamers understand. Thielen pulls aggro. He has that, attention around him because he is the deceptively quick guy out there, a real lunch pail guy.
Yeah.
They got to respect him, so they don't want to get beat by Adam Thielen because that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But when Justin Jefferson breaks the top off, he is just so good. Just there, this year has been the year of the wide receivers. I mean, between Mapletron, who else came out? There's like 2 more wide receivers. I mean, great year. Mooney even.
Did you say Claypool?
I said Mapletron.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that's his nickname.
There's a lot of great wide receivers out of this class, and I think that's
CeeDee Lamb until their quarterbacks got fucking killed.
Yeah, murdered.
T. Higgins.
Big. That pairing's going to be great for a long time running.
Michael Pittman Jr.'s had some good games with the Colts.
Again, this was one of the best years for wide receivers ever, I think.
Jerry Jeudy's shown some good spurts.
Yeah, he's not dead. Rager just won a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got that going for you. Yeah, I mean, it's just, Kudos to Justin Jefferson. Great breakout season. Putting up numbers, Randy Moss-esque. He's not quite in that category yet, but we still got 4 games. And I'll be honest with you,
comparing him to the Moss Man already, right?
Their styles are nothing alike. I'm just gonna so people don't get whatever about it. I'm just saying from a production standpoint,
they're not getting mossed on.
Moss just mossed at.
Thank you.
84 jerseys on. Yeah, no, like from a production standpoint, I'm just saying it's incredible what he's doing, and he's on a great pace. And that's with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback, who you've slandered up and down, and a lot of people have, rightfully so, for a long time. So shut the fuck up.
I was so worried in this game too because I said one nice thing about him on Friday. And I was like, he started playing bad, and I was like, God damn it. I said one nice thing, and he starts playing like shit again. So I just, like, Kurt, it's nothing personal. I'm just going to hate you the rest of the year because you play better when I hate your fucking guts. And if I die, I die. That's basically just how you got to live. That's the motto of this team. If I die, I die. Talking about if I die, I die, going to the Jets, who used to have a player or have a player? Used to have a player that believed that he wanted to die on the football field. Jamal Adams said that it would be the greatest honor to die on the football field, former Jet. I have some thoughts on this game, Dave. Number one, Raiders deserve to lose this game, and they're lucky they got out with a win. Number two, Greg Williams did not deserve to get fired, Dave. He saved the Jets and saved their pick, because here's what it is. I heard Rex Ryan this morning on Get Up's like, oh, that was a dumb call. Why did he call the blitz? Da-da-da-da-da. Greg Williams was thinking, oh, shit, we're going to win this game. We're not going to get that quarterback. Let me call a blitz and blow this game. That's what he was thinking. He saved the season. Saved the winless season. Yeah, bring the safeties down.
Fuck the help coverage. Don't play goal line defense. Fuck all of that. Blitzing.
Like,
I love it.
Come on. Like, he saved the season. This team doesn't want to win.
Talking about how Greg Williams could accidentally win them a game if he becomes the head coach for like 3 games to end the season. And instead, Greg Williams, 200 IQ play there, blitzes and blows the top off the,
Not once, but twice. Like, it was 2 big plays by Ruggs that got them that touchdown. There was the one that got him to the 50 and then one that got him to the fucking end zone. Oh, man. Yeah. Like, that's my thought of, like, maybe he did it on purpose because the Jets don't want to win. They would have been the number 2 pick.
It was like a running throw. Like, he took 3 steps into it forward as he, like, launched it down there. And it was just like, oh, that is not pretty, but it worked.
Oh, but this Raiders team did not deserve to win this game. Did not deserve to win it. And, like, the Raiders, if they squeak into the playoffs, I hope they get demolished in their first game. That's how much they don't deserve a playoff spot if they do end up making it. That's all I got on that game. The Colts-Texans, I'll be honest, I didn't expect the Texans to make this one a game. But, like, the Colts are lucky to get out with the win, of course, because now they're tied with the Texans, or not with the Titans again after their loss to the Browns. But, like, I did not expect the Texans to make this one a game. Only because, like we talked about it, Will Fuller, what happened?
The Washington football team is about to win the game.
Okay. All right.
They are about to win this game.
Okay. The undefeated season ends. The way you were like, oh no, I was like, oh shit, who got injured?
No.
Who's out for the year, Dave? Or what big NBA news dropped and now we have to spend a half hour talking about
17 seconds left and Pittsburgh will be receiving a kickoff.
Okay.
Anyway, we were talking about football that already completed in the Houston matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Watson just chucks the ball around. That's what he does. Like,
and when you don't have
I don't know who Chad Hansen is. Nobody knows who Chad Hansen is, but the guy had a day. But Kiki Cutie, someone who we love, great game. Huge game. Caught 8 out of 9 targets on the day, just massively productive. And again, like maybe the Johnsons, I should say, because Duke receiving was good, David rushing, passable. It was just like they had an all-around game. And I do have to apologize to Jonathan Taylor. He had a very nice game. He did not have a Trent Richardson game.
He's not Trent Richardson.
I am sorry. More of these will put you out of the Trent Richardson category. One game does not make a not Trent Richardson, but you're on the right path.
The next one, Dave, Rams at the Cardinals. And this was one where this is the game that not necessarily the offense, because like Goff only had 1 touchdown, but like the run game is what like Goff had a rushing touchdown. Fucking Henderson had a rushing touchdown. Akers had one on 3rd down where it was like 3rd and inches, and he just like zipped past. And it's like, oh, I'm just going to will myself into the end zone through you guys. If you're a Cardinals fan, are you concerned after a loss like this that, hey, maybe this team is...
Murray had 2 fumbles.
On the down.
1 lost, and like, it's just... His mistakes lost them the game. This was a Kyler Murray giveth, Kyler Murray taketh away kind of a game. He had a pick 6, and then he had a fumble that they lost. He had another fumble that killed momentum. Like, I understand that you're not going to be a superstar every day, but like, this is 100% a Kyler Murray game.
Yeah. And this team, 1-4 in their last 5. Their last win comes against Buffalo on the 15th of November. Like,
it's not good.
I mean, the good thing is Their next 2 games are against the NFC East, so maybe you pick up 2 good wins here. I mean, the Giants, though, Colt McCoy is making them play well. So maybe that Giants game ain't as good of a game, ain't as easy as a win.
Ricky,
but
what
the Eagles,
fuck happened in that game?
what the Giants Seahawks game?
Yeah, can we just jump? To that real?
What that was like?
Happened?
What Seahawks are up 3-0 at half, and I remember the announcers going, "Yeah, I just kneel it from here, and if I'm the Giants, I take it to halftime because you're only down 3-0 against the fucking Seahawks."
I mean, what the? Is Russell Wilson dead?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to steal the shtick from fucking Pat McAfee, but he's dead, right? He's just dead. Like, I don't understand. You have Chris Carson back.
Mm-hmm.
Your running game is available.
Yeah.
And yet, your offense looks horrid. And against a Giants team who has just given up gaping amounts of yards to everyone they've played this year.
I mean, you've got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, too. Like, you've got 2 of the best wide receivers in football. However, though, Colt McCoy, the one thing I will say, the only interception on his part though wasn't his fault because he threw it right to Ingram's hands. Ingram was just like, "Oh, it's gonna go through my hands," and it tipped into the DB's hands. Yep. Like Colt McCoy played a good game. Like
hell game from Wayne Gallman.
Yeah, that too. 135 yards.
I'm glad I picked him up in fantasy. He saved my booty.
So, by the way, I have to apologize on the record to Mr. Brandon Swanson because I'm hiding behind my mic because he asked me, should I play Wayne Gallman or Miles Sanders?
Oh no!
And I told him to play Miles Sanders because I wasn't sure how Gallman was going to play. So, Brandon, I'm sorry. I'm going to hide behind my mic now.
Yikes.
I'm just going to hide behind my mic the rest of the show. Don't take fantasy advice from Ricky, which we give our fantasy advice every Friday.
We do.
Which, by the way, Kirk didn't have I was worried that Kirk was going to have a worse game than he did. Good thing he ended up with 21 points to kind of save myself of maybe you didn't have to be scared of the games that we thought we were scared of. But yeah, the Giants, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs in that division.
Their first game, it's official.
Hell yeah, we'll talk about that too. We talked about the Eagles, but the Packers, they're on a roll.
Go Pack.
Go Pack, go. They win again. Aaron Rodgers looked great. Aaron Jones had a great game. Adams had a great game.
They're having fun. This just confirms that MVS is an idiot. And Aaron Rodgers hates him. Because Lazard, he speaks so highly of how smart a player Lazard is. Mm-hmm. I love playing with smart guys. Physical players, you get them, they cycle in and out of teams, but smart players, man, I love to win with smart players. Lazard comes back instantly, back in the targets. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things. MVS is out. He's done, Ricky.
Yeah. The next one boggled me, Dave.
Did it put your mind in a bottle?
It put my mind in a bottle because not only, I knew the Patriots were going to win this game, but I did not expect them to put up the zero burger the zero burger for the Chargers. And also I did not expect them to win with their quarterback throwing under 100 yards. Cam Newton had under 100 yards, under 100 rushing yards, but got in the end zone 3 times. Or got in the end zone twice and threw into the end zone once for 3 touchdowns. How the hell did this game even happen, Dave?
This is what happens when your head coach tells your team that they are done for the year.
Good fucking point.
He did kind of say that out loud.
I mean, they had
now they are officially done for the year.
Yeah, 8 and 7 carries between their 2 running backs. 15 carries between the 2 of them?
It was a very bad game, and I did not know that. I watched that game. It felt like slow motion, the way the beatdown happened, because it wasn't just the offense.
Yeah,
obviously they killed the Chargers with special teams. I didn't realize the stat. It was 3 different plays on special teams where they had fucked up dramatically and had not enough guys on the field or too many guys on the field. And then obviously the kick return, they had 2 scores on special teams. So it's just the Patriots in all 3 phases dominated. And yeah, I get it. It wasn't a pretty game, but hey, Jared Stidham threw a bomb. He threw a bomb.
Yeah.
Gotta give him credit.
Which also I will throw out. The play-by-play announcer, can't remember who it was for that game. Just kudos to Bill Belichick for his just what they were talking about, because this was the first game Belichick coached at SoFi Stadium, the amount of detail that he plays into things is he was out there before the game mapping like, okay, this is where I'm going to be. Where are the play clocks? Where's the game clock? Where, like, down to that minuscule type of thing, Dave, of like,
he probably had it from his video footage.
Where is everything on the field before the game? Yeah. I mean, but he's doing that kind of preparation where most people would be like, I'll figure it out when I'm out there. Not Bill Belichick. Not Bill Belichick. That's why he's better than Tom Brady, folks. And that's why Tom Brady's having all these troubles down there in Tampa, or Tampa, as we should say. Okay. Then the Sunday night game, Dave, I thought the fucking Broncos were going to win this for a hot second. Like, fucking Drew Lock, he was like, Patty Mahomes is one thing, but I'm another thing. Let's go. Like, Tim Patrick, 2 touchdowns. The Chiefs won it in the end. Also, kudos to Travis Kelce for being he's had 5 straight seasons of 1,000 yards receiving. So kudos to him.
Incredible. He's probably the second best tight end of all time. Like, it's probably Gronk, and then it's him. Mm-hmm. I think he's jumped Antonio.
Is Gronk the greatest tight end of all time?
How is he not?
You've got, like, I'm just gonna throw out names. Gonzalez. You've got Gonzalez. You've got Jason Widmer. Shockey is another one I think of.
Shockey's not as high up as
Tony Gonzalez with the Falcons.
Oh, I already said Tony Gonzalez because the Chiefs, but yeah. Who's the guy from the Chargers?
Antonio Gates,
yeah. So Gates, Gonzalez. I think Gronk is better than both of them, and I think that Kelce has jumped them at this point in his career. He is one of the best, if not the best, pass catching tight end of all time.
Let's see. Athlon Sports. This was from April of this year. Top 25 tight ends of all time. I'm just going to jump to the top 5 because that's all I fucking care about. Number 1, they had Tony Gonzalez. Number 2, Antonio Gates. Number 3 was Gronk. Number 4 was Shannon Sharp. Skip. Kellen Winslow. Forget about Kellen Winslow.
Kellen Winslow, yeah.
Ozzie Newsome. I wasn't Mike Ditka. I wasn't fucking alive for them. Jason Witten was 9, and then Greg Olsen at 11. Those are the ones we grew up with.
Travis Kelce didn't rate.
Not in April of this year.
He had 4 1,000-yard seasons at that point in his career. He didn't rate above those fucking jabronis.
Yeah, it wasn't top 10. There was like Don Capers or something in there. No, or Don Casper or something like that. Dan Casper.
Past who you are on the field right now, Travis Kelce is probably number 3 all time.
Well, yeah,
or
he's younger.
4. I'll be generous and say 4th all time as far as tight ends are concerned in their production. Like, he just does things that these other guys can't. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tony Gonzalez had a decade plus of success, and that was great. And yes,
I feel like I would compare Kelce to a Tony Gonzalez in the fact of when it comes to fantasy and when it comes to his reliability on the field. It's like, he's going to be out there. Yeah, I know Kelce's got a ring, but I'm saying like just play, not ring. But like,
no, I'm saying like he's going to get another one.
Oh yeah, but that's also because he's got possibly the fucking greatest young quarterback that we've seen in the game right now.
Yeah, that's how it works.
He's got the best quarterback in the league. Yeah,
name a great tight end without a quarterback, Ricky. You can't, because they need someone to throw the goddamn ball.
Antonio Gates had Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, that's the struggles. The struggle.
Tony Gonzalez he didn't have Matt Ryan for everything.
Right. No, he played.
He had fun. I think he had Brad Johnson for a couple of years.
I mean, he is still one of the greatest of all time. I mean, like I moved him to 2 because I think Gronk is better than him just because he's Gronk.
Yeah.
But like, that's disrespectful.
Falcons all time. Damn it! I don't care about Falcons allowing fans in the stadiums.
Nah.
So Falcons.
Travis Kelce, one of the greatest all time, top 5 tight end of all time. I think in many people's reigns. By the time that he is all said and done with his career, he's just fantastic. And he's a game breaker. How the fuck do you cover someone with that kind of size and that kind of speed? You don't. And when he runs a fucking just a seam route right up the middle of the field, you're fucked. And that's all they did.
So real quickly before we move on to the team that finally lost the game, the quarterbacks that Tony Gonzalez had in his career. The first one he had was Elvis Garbach, but he also had Rich Gannon during a couple of those years.
Rich
Trent Green with the Chiefs. He had him for a while. Damon Hurd and Brody Croyle. Matt Castle, because that's when he got shipped over. No, wait. I'm dumb. He wasn't there that long. So till 2008. So scratch that. He was traded. He moved right before Matt Castle. So Garbach, Warren Moon for a game. Rich Gannon, Trent Green, Brody Croyle were his main quarterbacks. Then in Atlanta, when he came over in 09 to 15, I think he played 13. 09 to 13, he had Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
So in Atlanta, it was just Matt Ryan. Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't have fucking Chandler. Chandler was before that. But yeah, like he had good quarterbacks as well, especially in Atlanta with Matt Ryan. The game we didn't watch because we were doing a show, Dave, but Steelers finally get a loss. What does it mean? Nothing. What does it all mean, Basil?
Doesn't mean anything.
What does it mean?
We talked about this. I specifically mentioned it, Ricky. I called out. I was like, "Wouldn't that be the game where just one of these games they're just gonna lose?" I picked the Bengals where they were gonna choke and lose. But I mean, Washington's a team with Alex Smith can sling it. I think was my exact words.
Yeah.
You're like,
he only had one touchdown though. Like, Oh, Peyton what about Barber? Kittle? We forgot about Kittle.
Kittle will be up there, but his injury history is just gonna kill his career numbers. Peyton Barber, not a very productive day on the ground. 14 carries for 23 yards. But again, Pittsburgh didn't have a running back either. So neither one of these teams with a very strong running attack. Both under 50 yards, and they had 21 yards for the Steelers and 45 for the Washington football team. It's a tough game. I mean, a very tough game.
It's weird though, because this almost seems like the reverse of what I've said about the Steelers. Where it's like, oh, they start out slow. That's their problem. They jumped out 14-0. I know, or I should say, did they start out slow because they didn't score until the second quarter?
Maybe.
So like that's a thing of like, did they does this team need to get some more like the Bears have a problem in the third quarter? Does this team have a first quarter problem, Dave, where they're just not going to score in the first quarter against good teams? But yeah, it's like. They jumped out. They were up 14-0, then 14-3 by halftime. And that looks like just in the fourth quarter. Like, they're up 17-10, and then you let Washington score 3 times. Tie the game, kick a field goal, and then they end up winning. Obviously, they could have won it on a touchdown, but, like, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm not panicking because I'd rather have that loss now than in the playoffs.
Right, obviously. Look at it. I mean, if you're choosing, not like that's the thing that actually happens, but yeah.
I mean, now what? I think the Chiefs are even with them.
Yeah, they're even in record. We'll see strength of schedule or whatever wins in conference, not conference. Who takes the number 1 seed overall? But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people expected the Steelers to lose one game at least out of this final batch just because it's who they are. They play down to their opponents. So we saw it last week where it was like dramatically like, holy shit.
So the Steelers win the tiebreaker over the Chiefs based on best win percentage of conference games.
Okay.
They're still undefeated in conference, whereas the only loss the Chiefs have is in conference.
Yep. Well, I guess the question is are the Browns on that final stretch of games for the Steelers?
I don't know. Let me see.
Because if they are,
I don't think
it is Bills, Bengals,
week 17.
Browns.
Yeah, week 17.
That's gonna suck.
The Browns are not gonna beat the fucking Steelers.
This could be the game where the Browns are like, "Hey, we're gonna make it."
No way.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers are a bad team.
No way. I
there's a rule.
Rules are meant to be broken, though, Dave. Rules are made to be broken. You know what I'm confused with that baffles me?
Huh.
So, how could the Chiefs be 11-1 and clinch a playoff berth, but the Steelers are 11-1 and have not clinched the playoff berth?
Because Cleveland's 9-3.
No, I mean playoff berth, not division. I just mean playoff berth. Like, how can the Chiefs clinch a playoff berth, but then the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't, and they have the same exact record? Like. That confuses me on ESPN.
Because the Browns are 9-3. That's exactly why.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's tricky.
talking
The point is, if they lose out for the rest of the year, the Browns could take over the number 1 spot or the number 2 spot from them. And then they could get knocked out because the wild card team of either the Colts or the Dolphins / Bills could take that wild card spot.
So then it should say that the Chiefs have clinched the division, not a playoff berth.
I don't know. I'm going off of what I assume here.
Yeah, it just confuses me that like if the Chiefs have clinched just the playoff berth, the Steelers should as well. It just yet again confuses me. ESPN, have a better app because your app fucking sucks.
It hasn't updated yet. They updated the records, but maybe didn't update the little X's and dashes next to their name.
But I'm still gonna call out a bad app when it's a bad app because I always have problems with it.
You know what app it's better than?
Is it better than the NFL fantasy app?
Yeah. It's a little better.
Hey man,
how would you be thankful for what you do have?
The way your team's playing, you might not be able to delete that app yet. I may be able to delete it after next week based on how your team's playing.
True. If I pull off another miracle win, who knows?
I don't know, dude. Right now you're up 133-93. It depends on how Oster and Debo do tonight for me, but. Yeah, next week might not be a good one. But that's going to do it for us. Let us know what you guys think, obviously, down below about anything we talked about. A brisk an hour and a half show. Just a brisk hour and a half show. We talked, it didn't help. We talked 30 minutes on James Harden and then like 40 minutes to an hour.
The James Harden thing is start off with the history of Harden, the current situation. And then
you got to go into the
trade situations.
It's the fun stuff, right? All the fun stuff. But yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow. NBA predictions for the season. Dave and I give our records, give who's going to win the finals and everything like that.
LeBron James too.
What?
Probably LeBron James too. He tweeted it was not a mistake of the length of his contract to play with his son.
Oh, okay. So he did officially say
the best thing about this year, the best thing about it is the year. I'll be a free agent. The same time my oldest son graduates high school, so I'll have some options to see. For me personally, what I want to do forward, being around my family, being around my son more, continue playing this game.
Yeah, he's going to play wherever Bronny plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what we thought. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Remember, join the best community on the internet, that Discord, link down below in the description, or !Discord into Twitch chat. Patreon.com/MVP vids if you want to support us. Again, link down below, or !Patreon into Twitch chat gets you into that. We're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVP vids, but we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. So go ahead and subscribe, do all the fun stuff at both places. Make sure you never miss a thing from MVP. Want to thank you guys for doing everything you do. Like I said, Dave and I will be back tomorrow. And as always, have a good day, everybody.